At the moment, Ford enjoys the fact that the demand for small pickups is huge, but there is no true competition. Everything that rolls out from the factory line ends up sold pretty much immediately, but that won't last forever because Toyota is preparing something really big. This model will outperform the Maverick in every aspect and become a class leader. The CEO of the Japanese carmaker has just announced the all-new 2024 Toyota Stout and left the competition shaking. So without further ado, let's take a better look at this promising small pickup. Where it all started. The Stout may not be the best sounding name for a pickup, but it takes an important place in Toyota's history as a pickup that introduced Toyota to the segment. Without Stout, there would be no Helix, Tacoma, or other pickup legends, so this revival comes naturally. But the Stout will be much more than a name. It will be a pickup strong in all points, starting from the aesthetics. If you think about it, a good-looking pickup is one of the things that's currently missing in the segment. On one side, we have a super dull-looking Maverick, while the Santa Cruz, on the other, seems way too polarizing. The Stout, on the other hand, looks just right, at least if we refer to digital renderings that circulate on the network. These images show a perfect blend of modern ruggedness and some old-school design solutions. It's easy to find similarities with the compact cruiser EV concept, as well as the recently introduced Land Cruiser 250. Apparently, the styling will be one of the key selling points, but this is still a pickup segment where it's all about functionality, versatility, and flexibility. Therefore, we don't believe Toyota is going to experiment much when it comes to the overall layout. A typical pickup body style is the way to go, and as this is primarily a segment of versatile family haulers, a double cab layout seems like a safe pick. Though won't exclude the possibility of seeing a single cab version as well, because work-oriented small and mid-size pickups have become a pretty rare thing these days. Platform. But despite the boxy and rugged exterior, the new Stout won't stand out from the crowd when it comes to the chassis design. Small pickups are about a good blend of capabilities and ride quality, so there's no doubt that Toyota is also about to introduce a unibody pickup, rather than another body-on-frame unit. This leads us to Toyota's contemporary TNGA platform, a modular architecture that comes in several variants, with two of them that seem quite appropriate for this task. The first one is in the TNGA K variant, the one that underpins models like the RAV4 and Highlander. That one would be a perfect match in terms of size, but let's not forget that one of the key segment requirements is to keep things affordable. For that reason, we may see something smaller, and therefore cheaper. We are thinking of the TNGA C architecture, the one that is best known for models like Prius and Corolla. But that platform also underpins a couple of crossovers, including the Toyota Corolla Cross, which many believe could be the Stout's closest relative. And if you think about it, everything makes perfect sense, especially if we look from the powertrain standpoint, because this is the road to ultimate efficiency. Another benefit of this platform is the suspension setup, because models like the Corolla Cross utilize some cheaper solutions, such as a torsion beam instead of an independent rear suspension. That's a great way to cut production costs, and if you think that's too much of a compromise, keep in mind that the Maverick also comes with such a suspension setup, and that we haven't heard anyone complaining about the ride quality. Powertrain. The Ford Maverick has taught us that an efficient powertrain is one of the key ingredients of a good compact pickup. Just take a look at Maverick's sales figures and you'll notice that half of them are hybrids, even though there is no all-wheel drive option. And as the Japanese carmaker is the world's most dominant force in hybrid technology, it's hard to imagine the new Stout without being electrified. After all, even the way more rugged Tacoma and Tundra are now available as hybrids. In Stout's case, things will largely depend on the platform choice. In the case of the TNGA K platform, things are quite simple. We would see a well-known setup from models like RAV4 and Highlander based on a 2.5-liter Atkinson cycle inline-4 coupled with CVT and one or two electric motors. Depending on the setup, the max output can go between 220 and 245 horsepower, which is notably more power compared to the Maverick's 191 horsepower setup. As for the fuel economy, the RAV4 returns around 41 miles per gallon in the city and 38 miles per gallon on the highway, so the Stout shouldn't be much different. Those are good ratings, but not particularly better than the ones you get from the Maverick hybrid. If Toyota wants to stand out in this aspect, the TNGA C platform is the way to go. In that case, the hybrid setup would be based on a smaller 2.0-liter engine, just like in the Corolla Cross. That setup offers a combined output of 196 horsepower, which is still more power than Maverick, but also superior fuel economy. We believe that this setup could ensure a combined fuel economy of way over 40 miles per gallon, and make the Stout an ultimate choice for anyone looking for an efficient and practical family hauler. Off-road performance and towing capacity. Hybrids are great, but only if you're ready for a few compromises. They may be super efficient and easy to drive, but they are not particularly capable. First of all, there is the max towing capacity, which is usually lower compared to gas-only counterparts. For example, the gas-powered Maverick can tow up to 4,000 pounds, while the hybrid is good only for 2,000. Then there is the off-road performance. Of course, no one expects a unibody pickup to be as rugged as a body-on-frame truck, but a certain dose of adventurism is always good. This is still a pickup, so it should be ready to get off the asphalt at any moment. And that's where the second issue with hybrids starts. Namely, hybrids can be configured in all-wheel drive variants, but those systems aren't based on a mechanical differential and things like that. Instead, all you get is an additional electric motor on the rear axle, which is usually underpowered and serves only to help on snow or other slippery surfaces. For anything more than that, hybrids like these are simply not enough. That's why a gas-only version also seems like a certain thing. Something like a 2.5-liter inline-4 from the RAV4 would be a perfect match, with a max output of around 200 horsepower, an automatic transmission, and a mechanical differential. Such a model would be a much better basis for a dedicated off-road version. In such a scenario, we could even see a TRD badge model. The RAV4, for example, comes in the TRD off-road variant with off-road tuned suspension, skid plates, and all-terrain tires. Add a locking differential, and you get a pretty capable small off-roader. With the gas engine, this pickup would be also able to tow more. Even though towing isn't a priority for the buyers of unibody pickups, they still expect something better than 2,000 pounds. When properly equipped, the gas-powered Maverick can tow 4,000 pounds, while the max payload capacity goes around 1,500 pounds. We expect Stout to deliver something similar. Interior design. Then comes the interior layout. As mentioned before, unibody pickups are designed to be versatile, to provide all the practicality that comes with an open cargo bed. But first and foremost, they are imagined as family vehicles. A crew cab layout with 2 rows of seats that can accommodate adults is something we all expect from the Stout. But interior design is also where most automakers cut production costs. As one of the goals is to offer a pickup that's cheaper, or at least equally priced as Maverick, the Stout most likely won't impress anyone with interior quality. Moreover, Toyota will most likely keep things simple and offer a dashboard design similar to the Corolla Cross and other budget-oriented models from the lineup. A relatively simple cabin could utilize even more low-rent materials than the small crossover, but all in all, things should be okay, just like with the Maverick. In the small pickup segment, a stylish interior definitely isn't the way to stand out. Does this mean that the Stout is going to lack modern features? Not at all. We still count on a decently sized infotainment screen and connectivity features that typically come with modern cars. On the other hand, an analog instrument cluster might come as a compromise. Safety features. This is where we don't expect to see any compromises. Toyota has always been generous with advanced safety features, even in its cheapest models, so there is no reason for Stout to be any different. What's good to mention is that Toyota has recently launched the latest version of its well-known Safety Sense suite of advanced driver assistance features. The new one, called Safety Sense 3.0, brings various improvements. For example, the pre-collision system can now also detect motorcyclists, while the adaptive cruise control brings better vehicle detection and offers more distance settings. Traffic Sign Assist now recognizes more signs, while there is also a brand new system called Proactive Driving Assist, which helps in tricky situations by applying gentle braking or steering. Of course, some of these features will remain reserved for more expensive variants, but we still expect base models to be equipped fairly well. Automatic emergency braking, pedestrian detection, lane keep assist, and similar quintessential modern safety features will be on the list of standard equipment. Release date and price. Despite that the new Toyota Stout is one of the most anticipated new models, the Japanese automaker hasn't been particularly generous with details so far, especially when it comes to launch date and price. For now, we can only rely on unofficial sources, which suggest the all-new pickup could arrive by the end of this year as the 2025 model. As for the price, we saw a pretty big increase with the 2024 Ford Maverick, and the cheapest version now goes over $25,000, while the hybrid adds an extra $1,500. We believe that's the price range Toyota is aiming at as well. What do you think about the new Stout? Does it have all it needs to dethrone the Maverick and become the ultimate small pickup? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.